Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to Playoff Baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network as we get set for the Beal City Aggies and the Coleman Comets in district quarterfinal action. This could be the third consecutive year the Beal City Aggies win a state championship, an unprecedented run for the Aggies. 3 years ago, losing in the state finals, the last 2 years winning the state championships, and obviously a lot of kids gone from that team, but a whole lot of guys back as well. And they open up district play against the Coleman Comets, who come into this game at 5-22. Beal City coming in with a much better record at 23-7. So they're obviously going to be the heavy favorites here today. But as they say, there's a reason you go out there and play the game. Coleman will be the home team today. So what I'm going to do is run through that Beal City starting lineup, and they're finishing up infield right now. We're scheduled for a 4 o'clock start, but as I just made the joke moments ago, I'm finding out 4 o'clock start with high school baseball and softball usually means about 3:55. So leading things off for Beal City, brought to you by our friends, Woods Household Appliance, sponsor of our pregame show, Weefrich Financial and Clark Modular Homes. Owen McKinney, Kyler Smith, Blake Walcott are due up. Behind them is Eric Elias, Gary Zucker, and Will McClintock. Then rounding things out at 7-8-9 is Ryan Bouchon, Cole Tillman, and Braxton Bukovich. On the mound for the Coleman Comets is going to be Mr. Travis Murray. He's got the very, very tough test of dealing with this ultra-potent lineup of the Beal City Aggies. We've also got some great guys on the mound. We'll see Blake Walcott on the – well, you'll hear Blake Walcott on the mound, as I should say. Audio-only coverage now that we're here in the MHSAA playoffs. Going to take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, we'll run through that Coleman offensive lineup as well as the defensive lineup for Beal City. You're listening to State Championship Baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more Woods Household pregame show right after this. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here at the Mid-Michigan Sports Network here at Earl Hartman Field, getting ready for some state championship baseball. The Beal City Aggies versus the Coleman Comets. Both teams have already done their infield warm-up, and it's one of those with baseball, you're never sure, is there going to be a national anthem? Is there not going to be a national anthem? We're kind of all finding that out together. But as I said, I'll run through that lineup for Coleman one time here. Parker Klopp, Travis Murray, and Zane Lytle will be leading things off. Then it's Asher Hess, Jared DeVries, and Kyler Young. Kendon Bach, Aiden Altman. Then hitting in the 9th spot will be Joaquin Campbell. Slide over to Beal City. Talked about it for a moment with the lineup there. We'll go through it one more time. Leading things off, playing third base is going to be Owen McKinney. Hitting in the number 2 spot, playing the shortstop position will be Kyler Smith. Hitting in the 3 hole on the mound will be Blake Walcott. Behind the plate, batting in the cleanup spot will be Eric Elias. Gary Zucker will be batting 5th. He's out in left field. Will McClintock will be batting 6th. He plays first base. Batting 7th and DHing will be Ryan Bouchon. Cole Tillman will be batting 8th, playing second base. Batting 9th out in right field will be Braxton Bukovich. And the DH, Ryan Bouchon, it'll be the sophomore Drew Gross out in center field for Beal City. And one more time for that defensive lineup now for Coleman. Parker Clough be playing second base, leading things off. Travis Murray will be on the mound, batting second. Zane Lytle will be playing center field in the 3 spot. Asher Hess will be behind the plate, batting in the cleanup spot. Jared DeVries playing shortstop. He'll be batting 5th. Batting 6th will be Kyler Young, plays third base. Kendon Bach will be playing in left field, batting 7th. Batting 8th, playing first base, will be Aiden Altman. Batting 9th will be Joaquin Campbell, playing out in right. Well, I guess he'll be batting in. It'll be Bo V playing out in right field for him. Meeting of the mind about to take place right now at home plate with Coach Antcliffe, Coach Nagy, and the umpires as we get set for District Championship Baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. On the mound for the Beal City Aggies, the junior, Blake Walcott, a 3-year varsity player already as a junior. He closed out the state championship game as a freshman for Beal City when they beat Plymouth Christian at 2-1. On the year, the junior is 8-0. He's thrown 31 2/3 innings. He has 51 strikeouts to just 12 walks. He has a .88 ERA. Other pitchers we could see today for Beal City. Kyler Smith is 9-2 on the year with a 47. We're throwing 47 2/3 innings. He has struck out 60, walked only 16 with a 1.47 ERA. Eric Elias has thrown 12 innings on the year. He's 1-1. He struck out 22 and walked 11 with a 1.17 ERA. Jake Upton has pitched 18 innings this year for the Aggies. He's 1-0. He has 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a .78 ERA. Gary Zucker has thrown 22 1/3 innings. He struck out 25 and walked 16. He's 2-1 on the year with a 2.51 ERA. And leading the way, batting average-wise, it is Kyler Smith, the younger brother of the CMU baseball star Caden Smith. Kyler on the year is a .468 hitter. He's got 34 runs, 25 RBI, 6 extra base hits, 13 walks, and 18 stolen bases. Owen McKinney on the year is a .391 hitter. He leads the team with 37 runs, 17 RBI. He's also walked 24 times, so Owen McKinney's on-base percentage is over .500, and I believe the on-base percentage for the team of Beal City is just around .400, and so you're going to see a lot of Aggies on the bases here today, and Coleman, again, comes into this game at 5-22, but they are going to throw their number 1 pitcher here today. So if they got a chance to do something, it will be here in this one. Then they would move on to the district semifinals. Montebello awaiting the winner of this game back here Saturday. Then the district championship game over on the other side of the bracket at Sacred Heart Academy in Vesterberg as far as baseball goes. That district championship game will be Saturday, 3 o'clock. I will be back here for it. Friday, we will have softball coverage for you as we head down to Montebello. Plan as of right now is to bring you the district semifinal with 22-7 Vesterberg, and I believe it's 30-8 Beal City on the year now. And then on the other side of that bracket, I believe it's Montebello it's Coleman and Sacred Heart Academy. And we'll have that district championship game for you. That is a 6 o'clock first pitch on Friday. Meeting of the mind right now, finishing up. We're going to head out to one more commercial break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and our Woods Household pregame show. When we come back to the Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction, we will be ready for first pitch. It's Beal City. It's Coleman. Playoff baseball is back in Mid-Michigan, one of the best times of the year. We do have some other teams in action today as well. We'll have updates there for you coming from Mount Pleasant taking on Alpena. Mount Pleasant girls soccer is also taking on Ludington in a district. Elma Freeland softball are battling it out, Elma and Freeland baseball are battling it out right now. Shepherd and Elma softball are playing today. Everett Harrison softball and Vesterberg Montebello are getting things underway in Montebello as well. And I expect Vesterberg will be a big favorite. They've already beaten Montebello twice. I expect them to win that game and take on Beal City Friday afternoon here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Send out to one more commercial break. When we come back, it'll be first pitch. Beal City, Sacred Heart Academy here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Elevate your banking experience. Isabella Bank is your local banking partner. We understand the importance of personalized service, providing solutions that fit your unique needs. When you bank with us, together we can drive positive change and build stronger communities. Experience banking redefined. Make the switch today and experience banking that goes beyond. Isabella Bank. Local. Growing. Staying. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Bryant Family Farms would like to wish everyone good luck on the field and on the court. Bryant Family Farms offers maple syrup, mums, pumpkins, beef, goats, and fresh cut flowers. With you pick, bouquet arrangements, and subscription flowers. Bryant Family Farms, 3.5 miles south of the casino on South Leeton Road. Visit BryantFF.com or call 989-304-1201. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Here we go. The senior all-sports star Owen McKinney at the plate for Beal City to lead off the playoff charge. And we're talking about some of these youngsters. They are already back-to-back state champions. That one's going to miss outside 1-0, the count to McKinney. Again, it's audio-only coverage now that we're in the MHSAA playoffs. As them in the NFHS network own the video rights. That one is over for a strike. 1-1 now, the count to McKinney. DeVries on the bump. The lefty sends this one in. It's going to miss low and outside. 2-1 now, the count to Mr. McKinney. McKinney playing at third base for Beal City. But if you listened in last year when I was still at Buck 92, you know that young man can play absolutely everywhere. That next one will be over for strike two. 2-2 now, the count to McKinney. He literally played everywhere but catcher last year for Beal City. Here comes a 2-2 to McKinney, batting from the left side against the lefty. Good eye there as that one's going to miss low and outside to McKinney. Full count. That one's going to miss low. Ball four for Mr. McKinney. He gets the leadoff walk. I believe it's 18 stolen bases on the year for Owen McKinney. Definitely a threat to steal if you're back behind the plate for Coleman. Asher Hess has got to be ready to swing that thing down to second base. But you do have the lefty on the bump that's got that good move over to first base. They do check the run over to first. Diving back easily is McKinney. One of the things I've joked about some of my friends this year is every time you walk a batter, it seems like you throw it over to first base at least one time. That's going to be over for a strike. Throw down to second base isn't a bad one, but sliding in safely is McKinney. Klopp came in late for the tag, but he got there in time. It was just a good slide for McKinney to get in with the stolen base. Kyler Smith takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. The sophomore playing at shortstop today for the Aggies. He's going to pop this one foul down the first baseline. It's going to get into the Coleman dugout out of play. The count now 0-2 to Kyler Smith. Smith on the season leads the team in batting average with a .468 batting average. On the year, he has drove in 25 runs. Chance to do that again with Owen McKinney at second base. Still nobody out here. Top of the first inning, Beal City, Coleman. That's going to miss high, 1-2. Smith steps back out, batting from the right side, wearing number 1. Both teams' main colors royal blue, but you got Coleman out there in the all grays, the royal blue caps. Beal City with the white pants, the royal blue jerseys with Beal City and white across their chests, and their number also in white, black outlining. And Coleman with the all grays, blue lettering, white outline. 1-2 is the count. Communication right now between Hess and Murray. Out at second base is Owen McKinney. He led this game off with a walk. Smith now trying to dig in and bring him home. Get things started early for Beal City. We're at the top of the first inning. There's still nobody out. McKinney at second base for the Aggies. DeVries ahead in the count, 1-2. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be fouled off down the first baseline. Trying to make the play as Altman. He's not able to get there. Count will remain 1-2. Walcott on deck. Elias behind him. Walcott on the year is a .393 hitter. Elias a .442 hitter. And we're talking some stats for Beal City, Sacred Heart Academy baseball and softball. It's going to seem crazy, but the teams are just that loaded this year. That one's going to bounce away from the catcher, Hess. Not really much he could do about it. Kyler Smith kind of jumped over that one as it came in close to his feet. That will allow McKinney to take third base. Now a deep ball in the infield here will score McKinney from third, or a high fly ball if you're Kyler Smith. 2-2 the count. Still nobody out here, top of the first inning. McKinney's at third. Smith at the plate. Checks his swing. It's going to go high. Full count. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat. So you hear the wind whistling a bit here in the microphone at Earl Hartman Field out here on Lincoln Road. That one's lined right up the middle for a base hit. That'll bring in McKinney, and it's an RBI single for Kyler Smith. And so just like that, the Aggies get a run on the board. McKinney gets on with a walk. He steals second, gets to third on a pass ball. Then Kyler Smith ropes one up the middle for a base hit. 1-0 already, the Aggies here in the top of the first inning. We still have nobody out. Kyler Smith at first base, very similar to Owen McKinney, a big threat to take second. Murray, the lefty, checks that runner, uses that good move over to first base. Diving back in time is Kyler Smith. Walcott doesn't even move out of the box. He keeps his 2 feet planted right there. He's ready for the pitch. Murray checks that runner, going up against his pitching counterpart, Blake Walcott. That's going to miss inside. Actually, no, they're going to call it a strike on the inside corner. Best seat in the house brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance. It is the umpires out there. Right now, one right behind the pitcher, the other one right behind the catcher. Big swing and a miss. It's going to get away from the catcher, though, which will allow Kyler Smith to trot up to second base with an easy stolen base. Walcott does now trail in the count 0-2. 1-0 the score. Aggies already on the board here in the top of the first inning. Still nobody out. Runner at second base for Walcott. The number 3 here. He's going to swing and a miss, go down on strikes. Excellent curveball there from Travis Murray to get the junior Walcott to chase. Now stepping up to the plate is the catcher, Eric Elias. As far as batting average goes, I believe he is the number 2 hitter on the team this year. The sophomore with a .442 batting average. He's only scored 10 runs because he's the catcher. He's got 22 RBI, 4 extra base hits. He's got the lone home run for the Aggies this year as well. So he's got a whole lot of power. Smith digging in, looking to take third base. He gets there. The ball also gets by third. Coming in to score is Kyler Smith. Now 2-0 Beal City here in the top of the first inning. Still just 1 out. Now the bases are clear for the catcher, cleanup hitter Eric Elias. It's down the count 0-1. Takes a couple practice swings from the right side before he digs back in. Pretty much the inside of the batter's box all the way to the back on the right side. Here comes the 0-1 for Murray. That one's going to bounce in there, kind of bounce right on the plate. 1-1 now the count to Elias. Gary Zucker on deck. His batting average not spectacular this year at .260, but his on-base percentage is over .400. That one's going to get away from the catcher. 2-1 now the count to Elias. Zucker will trot over, save some energy for Asher Hess at the plate. 2-0 Beal City with the lead here in the top of the first inning. There is 1 out. Elias, a big cut on that one. 2-2 now the count. As I say, big cut. He started with a big cut and then kind of held up at the last second, but there really wasn't much point in holding up. Aggies lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first. Bases are empty. 1 out. Elias at the plate. That one will miss inside. It's going to run the count full. Elias digs back in. Here comes the 3-2. That's going to miss inside. Another walk surrendered by Murray. McKinney led off the inning with a walk, stole second, moved to third on a pass ball, and scored on an RBI single from Kyler Smith. Smith stole second, stole third, came home on a pass ball with Elias at the plate moments ago. Zucker steps to the dish, batting from the right side. First one's going to miss outside, 1-0. Will McClintock on deck for Beal City. 382 hitter on the year with 22 runs scored and 16 RBI. Has 7 extra base hits. Oh, they're going to get Elias caught in a bit of a pickle right now. Elias kind of dances back and forth, trying to see if he can get back to second base safely. Just making him work, making him work. He's now going to dive back in at the last second, and he will get nabbed out. And so a nice pickoff move there. And that's what happens when you've got the lefty on the bump. He's got that great pickoff move because he's staring right at the runner the entire time. He sees that little shimmy in the legs from the base runner, knows he's going to go, throws it back, and they're able to pick off the runner. There's now 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Beal City leads at 2-0. The bases are now empty for Gary Zucker. He's heading to count 1-0. That one's going to bounce in there, 2-0. Turning up the heat on that one was Murray, but it misses. Zucker digs back in on the right side. Murray sends in the 2-0. This one's going to be roped out towards center field. Not going to be an easy play. It's going to get over the center fielder's head, up against the fence, rounding second, standing at third base with the triple is Gary Zucker. You talk about our Mumford Oil and Gas Supply Gates Drilling and Service drill of the game. Zucker with the triple. The base is empty now. A runner at third for Will McClintock with 2 outs. I was thinking about that Weber Brothers Sawmill timber of the game. An absolute blast there to Gary Zucker, straight out to center field. And it is deep out here in center field for Sacred Heart. McClintock's going to take that one inside, 1-1 the count. Murray works quickly on the bump. Here comes the 1-1 from the lefty. Zucker kind of half charging in home, just waiting to see if that ball does squirt past the catcher, as he's seen a few bounce up there here in the top of the first inning. 2-0 our score, 2 outs. McClintock at the plate, down on the count 1-2. This one's going to be sent towards shortstop. It's not going to be an easy play. It's going to be fumbled a bit. Coming in to score is Garrison Zucker. And again, you look at the official box score, that'll probably rule it an error. But your boys giving Will McClintock an RBI single on that one. That'll bring the senior Ryan Bouchon to the plate. It's already 3-0 Beal City here at the top of the first inning. 2 outs as Bouchon steps in on the right side, wearing number 10. Murray checks the runner at first. McClintock dances away. Now he dances back to first base. McClintock does have the speed, but not the speed of Owen McKinney or Kyler Smith. McClintock is back easily that time. 1-0 the count. 2 outs. At the plate is Ryan Bouchon, the number 7 hitter for Beal City. The Aggies already have 3 runs across. Run around first base. 2 outs here in the top of the first. McClintock with a big cut on that one, count now Bouchon with a big cut on that one, the count now 1-1. Tillman on deck, then the freshman Braxton Bukovich in the 9th spot. And as you hear me say a lot this year, not your typical number 9 hitter. This one's going to be grounded down the third baseline, foul, 1-2 now the count to Ryan Bouchon. You see it up there, Sacred Heart Academy has got the pitch count here at the baseball fields. 31 pitches already for Murray here in the top of the first inning, and that sun is out now as well. Murray checks the runner, winds and deals with the 1-2. Check swing, but it will be a strike 3 call on Bouchon, so a pair of strikeouts for Murray, but damage is done. 3 runs come across for Beal City. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. The Aggies have already started doing damage. We'll see Blake Walcott on the mound when we come back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Get your yard ready for spring and summer with Martinez Lawn Care. Martinez Lawn Care is scheduling spring cleanups now, along with bush and tree trimming, landscaping needs, and scheduled mowing services. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The sun is out. First time we're really testing the sun on the equipment. I will make that joke and see how that goes. Do Up, brought to you by our friends Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Pratum Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Hanging by a Thread, J&J Painting, and Martinez Lawn Care, Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, and Block Electric. And it's Parker Clough, Travis Murray, and Zane Lytle. 3-0 our score here, bottom of the first inning. The Aggies able to get 3 runners across. Do Up for them, we'll say. Brought to you by our friends, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, and Bill's Custom Fab. It's Cole Tillman, Braxton Bukovich, then back to the top of the order with Owen McKinney. Second baseman Parker Clough will start things off for Coleman, hitting from the left side. Clough name sounds familiar. He is the son of Chad Clough, who's coached, well, just about everything out there at Coleman. I kind of feel like him and Nick Katzinger. On the mound is Walcott. He's got that dominant 12-6 curveball. First one's going to miss. And you hear the wind whistling a bit here at Earl Hartman Field. Walcott ready with the 1-0. Winds and deals. The righty junior on the mound is going to foul this one back out of play, and that's why I moved the car back even further as for shots like that right there from Parker Clough. 1-1 the count. Clough digs back in on the left side. Walcott winds and deals. Zings it by for a strike. That's where Walcott's really turned things up a bit from this year to last year. He's got a bit more velocity, counting on 1 and 2 to the second baseman, Clough. Walcott winds and deals. Fastball once again. Clough can't catch up with it. Strike 3. Travis Murray now heading the plate. A great start there for Blake Walcott. Owen McKinney heads over from third base, drops off the baseball to him. So those are 2 youngsters. The junior Walcott, the senior McKinney, back-to-back state champions there, played big roles the last 2 years. Batting from the left side is Murray. Walcott, the righty. Gets set on the mound. 3-0 Beal City with the lead. It's going to be over for a strike. Great location there from Walcott on the low outside corner for Murray. There's not much Murray's going to be able to do with that one no matter what. Walcott winds and deals. This one's going to be hit towards second base. Not an easy play for Tillman, but he gathers it over to McClintock in time for the out. So ground out to second base. That is something that I don't think people think about often, but it had me thinking about it being at Margot Yonkers Stadium last week for some softball. The infield there was all dirt, and it was very tightly packed dirt. So a couple grounders that, went towards first, went towards short, went towards third were a little bit more difficult to deal with. Same goes here. It's a little bit different grass, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than your home field. Same with that dirt, maybe packed a little bit tighter as well. Lytle fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Center fielder wearing number 18 steps back in, batting from the right side for the Comets. 3-0 our score here in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes the 0-1 from Walcott. Zings it in there, 0-2. Walcott with that velocity, mid to high 80s, and then he'll break off that 12-6 curve on you. This makes it very, very difficult to deal with. You don't have a lot of high school pitchers who are going to be able to come at you with 3, 4, 5 pitches. Strike three, another strikeout, 2 in the inning for Walcott. Murray also struck out 2, but there was a couple walks and a few hits in between there. Our score, 3-0 Beal City with the lead as we head to the top of the second inning. Back with more Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, proud supporter of local schools.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 3-0 is our score of Beal City with the lead over Coleman as the Aggies come back on offensively here for the top of the second inning. Leading off things will be the number 8 hitter, Mr. Cole Tillman. But again, Tillman, Bukovich in the 8 and 9 spot. Not your typical 8 and 9 hitters that you're going to see in high school baseball action if you're Travis Murray. Murray, the lefty, digs in, ready to go. 3-0, Beal with the lead. Tillman shows bunt. That one's going to miss high and outside. 1-0 the count to the senior second baseman for Beal City. Start on the basketball team that went all the way to the regional finals. Here comes the 1-0. That one's going to be over for a strike. Bukovich on deck, a 300 hitter on the year. Tillman on the year, a 279 hitter, but with 10 walks as well as on base percentage. Probably more around 360, 370. He's going to foul this one off out of play. Count now 1-2. Tillman, a couple practice swings. Steps back into the box on the right side. The lefty, Travis Murray, ready to go on the hill. Big swing and a miss. Another strike. Actually, nope, they're going to say that was a foul tip. Nice job by Tillman. Staying alive up there. Top of the second inning, Beal City leads it 3-0 against Coleman here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Audio-only coverage now that we're in the playoffs. Tillman's going to take strike 3. Great location there. That is the third strikeout already for Travis Murray. Braxton Bukovich now stepping in, batting from the left side. Freshman, big part of that state championship football team. Played linebacker and running back as a freshman. He shows bunt, pulls it back, but it'll be a called strike anyway. Bukovich waves the bat, pulls it back, shows bunt once again. That's going to miss 1-1 to count. My main man Larry Perry working quickly on the keys down there on the scoreboard. Here comes the 1-1. And one's going to miss way outside 2-1. Bukovich awaits. Here comes the 2-1. Takes a big cut on that one. Count now 2-2. So can't catch up with it. Murray's got the sign. He's ready to work very quickly. That one's going to miss outside. 3-2 now the count to Bukovich. Already 40 pitches thrown for Murray on the hill for Coleman. That one's going to be a called strike 3 on the corner. Now back-to-back strikeouts. Going back to the first inning for Murray. He has punched out 4. He is looking good on the hill. Here comes McKinney to the plate, who walked in the first at-bat of the game. Stole second. Was drove in by Kyler Smith moments after that. He'll take the first pitch, 1-0 the count. There's 2 outs here, top of the second inning. McKinney at the plate, back to the top of the order for the Aggies. They lead it 3-0 against Coleman. That's going to be called a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count to Owen McKinney. Murray has now struck out 3 in a row. Struck out the first 2 batters here in the second and the last batter in the first. This one's going to be fouled off. It's going to get over to the softball field. The Sacred Heart Academy girls are practicing, getting ready for action later this week. Friday, we will be down in Montebello to bring you all the softball action. Vesterberg playing right now for the right to take on Beal City. This one's going to be a swing and a miss. It could be another strikeout. They throw it down to first, and it will be in time. And so striking out the side is Travis Murray. He's turning this into a pretty darn good performance through 2 innings. Gave up those 3 runs early, but since then, boy, he has had it going. If you're Coleman now and Coach Nagy, you think, man, if we got the lefty working on the bump, we just need to get the bats going now. Keep things right here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Thanks some more of our fantastic sponsors. J&J Auto, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Conwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, along with GNS Mechanical, and our friends at Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Still hiring bus drivers. Yeah, we're coming up to the end of the year, but you can be ready to go for next year. Also looking for parapros and everything else. And those bus drivers kind of get to make your own schedule. You got paid training and full benefits for bus drivers as well. You know, going back in my day, I'll make the joke that for me, a lot of times, the hardest part for me was just getting to school. And so school bus drivers are a big, big, important part of kids' education. Get involved. Go to mtpleasantschools.net to get started. Walcott back out onto the hill for the Aggies for the bottom of the second inning. 5 strikeouts through 2 for Travis Murray. Seems to have it going, but the problem might be you've already got 3 runs across for Beal City in the top of that first inning. It's 3-0 heading to the bottom of the second inning. It is 4-5-6 due up for Coleman. Hess, DeVries, Young. A lot of lefties here for Coleman as DeVries steps in batting from the left side, or at least a lot of switch hitters. Elias and Walcott with some last-second communication there between pitcher and catcher. Walcott heads back behind the dish. Umpire gives Walcott the point, says we are ready to go for the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 our score. Beal City with the lead against Coleman. On the outside corner, it's strike 1 to Asher Hess. Say 5 strikeouts through 2 for Travis Murray. There was 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Mr. Walcott. That one's going to miss outside. 1-1 the count to Asher Hess. Hess, the catcher, steps back in, batting on the left side. Waves the bat over that back left shoulder. Here comes the 1-1 from Walcott. This one's going to be roped right up the middle for a base hit. And so Coleman with a little bit of momentum right now. Again, you strike out the side. If you're Murray, you get the leadoff single. Score is 3-1. Got a feeling that if Coleman wants to stay in this game, win this game, they need to get a run here in inning number 2 with that leadoff man on. Stepping up to the plate now is DeVries. All sports star for the Coleman Comets. Football, basketball, baseball, doesn't matter. He gets it done no matter where he is at. Batting from the right side, waving that bat over the right shoulder. He swings at the first pitch from Walcott and misses. Went strikeout, ground out to second base, strikeout in the bottom of the first for Coleman. Now leadoff single here for the catcher, Asher Hess. No pinch runner in for him. That one's going to be over for a strike. 0-2 now. DeVries quickly down in the count. If you're Walcott, you'd love to get a strikeout here after surrendering that leadoff single. And take the sacrifice a bit out of play. And I guess with 2 strikeouts it already does to DeVries. He swings at the third one as well. He gets mowed down. Walcott with his 3rd strikeout here early. Kyler Young now stepping to the dish. He plays third base for the Comets. He'll be batting from the right side. And Coleman trails 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning, but you already have 5 strikeouts from Travis Murray. You have a feeling if Coleman can get a run here, send the lefty back onto the mound with some confidence. It could be a big deal going forward. First pitch of the at-bat is over for a strike for Walcott to Young. Blake Walcott with a 1.88 ERA on the year. He is 8-0 on the season. He has not lost a ball game. Winds deals. He's not going to get the benefit of the call on the inside corner there. 1-1. Kendon Bach is on deck. Aiden Altman behind him. 3-0 our score here in the bottom of the second inning. Walcott checks that runner at first. Winds and deals. He's going to miss high. 2-1. Walcott taking his time, winds and deals with the 2-1. This one's going to be fouled off down the first baseline. Run account to 2-2. Number 6 hitter for Coleman, Kyler Young at the plate. Asher Hess led off the bottom of the second inning with a single. Then it was a strikeout on 3 pitches from Jared DeVries. Now the count is 2-2 to Kyler Young, playing third base for Coleman. Trying to move that runner up from first base to get Coleman on the board. 3-0 Beal City with the lead. Grounder up the middle, looking for the double play of the Aggies, and they're able to turn it in time. A double play. What a play from the Aggies in the field. And Tyler Young's going to send them down quickly. 3-0 our score. We will be back with more Aggie baseball right after this here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. All right, welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We're getting things set up here to have that scoreboard looking a little bit better so you can actually see the Aggies there up 3-0 over our friends, the Coleman Comets. So we actually get it back on the right camera there. Now you can see the Aggies there on the scoreboard up 3-0. No, they're not playing the Irish. They're playing the Coleman Comets. Kyler Smith at the plate. First pitch is over for a strike to the sophomore here in the top of the third inning. Beal City leads at 3-0 over Coleman. That one's going to miss 1-1. Smith digs back in. That one's actually going to go behind him. 2-1 now the count. Aggies lead at 3-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Playoff baseball action coming to you live from the Barberry Law Studios, built by our friends at Konwinski Construction. More love. Here comes a liner right up the middle. Another single for Kyler Smith. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He's got an RBI and a run scored as well. He tries to take second base. The ball gets away, and so he will be able to. The hustle turns it into a double. Again, you could rule that an error in the box score, but I'm giving Kyler Smith, that young man, credit for a double. Or actually, they're going to say he got called out. Nope. He's tossing the glove over, the running glove, I will say, over to Brad Ancliffe. But what a play there from Kyler Smith. This looked like your everyday single, but then he saw a little lazy play out there, and he was able to take second base as well. Leadoff runner now at second for Coleman. Takes off that great pickoff move. What a bunt from Walcott. There's no play at first. He is safe. Altman looks to scoop it at first. It gets by him. Coming in from third is Smith. Walcott will stop at second. So he is on with the bunt single. Coming around to score on the error is going to be Kyler Smith. Smith is now 2 for 2 on the day with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Walcott with the bunt single is now at first base for the Aggies. There's still nobody out here. The top of the third inning, 4-0. The Aggies lead it. Eric Elias at the plate. He walked his first time off and was picked off in between first and second base on a great move from Travis Murray. And so Murray, who had struck out the side, had been 4 strikeouts in a row. It goes double for Smith, bunt single for Walcott, and another run in. So if you're Travis Murray, you come out with some momentum, and then it gets taken away very, very quickly. Elias, the cleanup hitter at that runner at second base, wants to drive him in. He's going to foul this one off down the first baseline. Again, with nobody out in that runner, Walcott at second base, I wouldn't be surprised to see Elias show a bunt here. He plays catcher, but he definitely has a whole lot of speed. Big lead for Walcott at second base, just kind of daring Murray to make a move. That one's going to be way outside. 1-1 now, the count to Elias. Aggies lead it 4-0 here in the third. Double play ball got the Aggies out of the last inning. That curveball is going to be over for a strike. 1-2 now, the count to Elias. I believe it would have been a 6-4-3 double play if I'm ruling it correctly here from Smith to Tillman over to first to McClintock. Big cut that time going down on strikes as Elias. That is now 6 punch-outs for Travis Murray. He's been able to mow down Aggie batters at the plate, but when they've put it in play, it's been trouble. Not necessarily any fielding issues either. Zucker at the plate. He had a triple and came around to score on a Will McClintock RBI single his first time up. You think about the Gates drilling and service. Mumford Oil and Gas Supply drill of the game so far belongs to Zucker at the plate, who takes strike one. That one's going to miss outside. It's going to get away from the catcher. That's going to allow Walcott to stand up at third base. Doesn't even have to slide in there. Nice piece of base running from Walcott. After the bunt single, a couple pass balls, has now moved himself up to third base. Zucker steps back in, 1-1 the count. Now a runner at third base. High fly ball to the outfield here, one deep into the infield to score that runner from third. He's going to send a chopper towards the pitcher. It's not going to be an easy play at third base. I believe they're going to say that it went foul at first hit in the batter's box. And that's a really good thing if you're Coleman, because it was a great break out of the box for the speedy Zucker. He was pretty much already at first base. Count's now going to be 1-2 to the junior left fielder for Beal City. 4-0 the score here in the top of the third inning. Beal City with the lead. Murray has already struck out 6 batters on the bump for Coleman. That one's going to be foul, but it's going to get away from the catcher. So Zucker's going to move up to first. Actually, it's not going to be foul. It's just going to be a pass ball. So technically would have been a strikeout there, but Zucker reaches first base on the pass ball. Coming in from third to score is Walcott. 5-0 now the score. Still just 1 out here in the top of the third inning. At the plate is Will McClintock, who already has an RBI single on the day. He shows bunt. It goes off the catcher's glove. It was high with a lot of smoke. Zucker moves up to second base easily, actually rounds second. Thinks about moving up to third. Nice decision by the catcher, Asher Hess, behind the plate to not throw it down to second. Well, communication right now between Hess and Murray. They're so close to the plate, though, Will McClintock might even be able to hear the conversation. First baseman for the Aggies, batting from the left side. Third inning led off with a single turned into a double by Kyler Smith. A bunt single from Walcott. They've both come around to score. Elias struck out. Zucker has singled and moved up to second base. That one's going to be in the dirt. 2-0 now the count to Will McClintock, who already has an RBI single back in the first inning, driving in Zucker, who's at second base. Murray winds and deals. That one will be on the inside part of the zone for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Will McClintock. Murray checks that runner a couple times. McClintock shows bunt. He pulls it back. It gets away from the catcher once again. Count is now 3-1. Now that runner is at third base in Zucker. 5-0 our score here in the top of the third inning. McClintock batting from the left side. Zucker leads away from third. That one's going to be low for ball 4. Ryan Bouchon now stepping up to the plate. Runners at the corners. One out here in the top of the third inning. It's a 5-0 lead for Beal City over the Coleman Comets here in the district quarterfinal. The winner of this game would play again Saturday versus Montebello. You win that game, you're in the district championship. On the other side of the bracket, already in the district semifinals. That one's going to get by the catcher. Zucker's going to come in to score. McClintock moves up to second base, and that was the old Brad Ancliffe there. They would have been happy to give up that out in between first and second to get that run in from third, but they don't got to worry about the out, and they still get the run in. Now 6-0 Beal City. Runner at second base here in the top of the third inning. At the plate is Bouchon. Struck out his first time up. That one's going to miss. 2-0 now the count to Ryan Bouchon. DH-ing today, playing out in center field as the speedy Drew Gross. One out, top third, 6-0 Beal City with the lead. Runner at second base is Will McClintock. At the plate is Bouchon. Murray winds and deals. That one's going to miss way outside the count now, 3-0. And what a difference an inning makes. Striking out the side was Travis Murray, going 1-2-3 in the second inning, did the Aggies. Now here in the third, a lot tougher to deal with. Already a strikeout for Murray, but already 3 runs across in that runner at second base. Bouchon checks. It's going to get away from the catcher. It was ball 4. Moving up to third base is Will McClintock on the pass ball. And so now back-to-back walks surrendered by Travis Murray. He has already thrown 68 pitches. We are in the top of the third inning. Coach Dave Nagy doesn't have much of a choice. He trots out to the hill. And I'd find it kind of weird if they took out Murray here. He's obviously your best pitcher. He has struck out 6 at the, on the bump, but hasn't been necessarily great defense behind him. A couple pass balls at the plate that maybe are on Murray as well as they've bounced up there. But 6-0 is the score. There's one out here in the top of the third inning. And I think if you're Coach Nagy, you're kind of going out to your team and telling them, this is it. Like for a moment, it looked like they were going to stick around in this game. They had struck out the side. It was 3-0 going into the bottom of the second inning. Then they got the leadoff single, but then a double play ball got the Aggies out of the inning, and then come out here in the top of the third inning and have really kind of opened things up. A double, a pair of singles, and now a pair of walks have really got Coleman in trouble. It's 6-0 here in the third. At the plate is Mr. Cole Tillman. He struck out his first time up. Check that runner over at first base. Bouchon is back easily. That's another thing you might have said if you're Coach Nagy. You know Bouchon's going to try and go here to try and get McClintock in from third. There goes Bouchon. They're going to fake the throw down to try and see if they can get McClintock coming in. He won't, so it's just going to be an easy stolen base for Ryan Bouchon. Now runners at second and third for Tillman. Still just one out here in the third. 6-0 the score. Tillman's going to foul this one off back towards the Serve Pro building. Used to be the Lock Keep building out here at the Sacred Heart Academy ball fields. No more chickens if we're out here 5-10 years ago, though. 1-1, count, one out, top of the third inning. 6-0 Beal City with the lead. Runners at second and third. Cole Tillman at the plate. High fly ball towards second base. Not an easy play for Klopp as he gets it. They kind of fake coming in on the sacrifice fly, but not able to. Nice play from Klopp at second base. To get it in quickly, it doesn't seem like much, but he was towards the outfield there. Here comes Braxton Bukovich to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Big moment in this game. If you're Coleman, you want to make this one last as long as you can to continue to give your bats chances. If Bukovich is able to get a hit here, it could be very, very dangerous. It's already 6-0 here in the top of the third inning. 10 runs after 5, it's over. 15 after 3 or 4 if it's over. Doesn't look like the 15 is in trouble, but 10 runs in 5 innings right now is a reality if you're Coleman. You cannot give that up. The ball gets away from the catcher. Not enough for McClintock to come in from third base, though. Count now 1-1 to Bukovich. Murray with a slow walk back to the top of the hill. He's thrown 73 pitches. We're just in the top of the third. Lefty winds and deals. That's going to be in the dirt. 2-1 to count. Now, that's one thing. If you're Murray, you do not want to walk Bukovich and bring up Owen McKinney with the bases loaded here. You want to get this out. Comes a 2-1. That's actually going to hit Bukovich in the back, so he will take first base. And just like I said, the bases are now loaded. At third is McClintock. At second is Bouchon. At first is Bukovich. At the plate, the all-sports star, Owen McKinney, batting from the left side for the Aggies. A chance to really possibly open this one up here if you're Beal City. 6-0 the score here in the top of the third inning. Murray winds and deals. Outside corner call goes to Murray. That one's going to bounce in. 1-1 now, the count to McKinney. On deck is Kyler Smith, who led off this inning with a double and came around to score. Here comes the 1-1 to McKinney. He's going to send this one down the first baseline. It's fair. Hit right above the bag. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. 3 runs are in. McKinney's got a chance to go all the way if he wants to, but he will hold up at third base. The 3 RBI triple for Owen McKinney, and it is now 9-0 Beal City with the lead. Kyler Smith stepping back up to the plate for the second time here in inning number 3. What a shot right down the first baseline for McKinney to drive in 3. He maybe had a chance at the end-of-park home run, but with a guy like Kyler Smith coming up, he's already 2 for 2 on the day. You give him a chance to drive in the 10th run of the game for Beal City. It's 9-0 Aggies. 6 runs across here in the third. That one's going to miss. 1-1 now, the count to Kyler Smith. Comes the 1-1 for Murray. It's going to bounce in there. Nice job by Asher Hess keeping it in front of him behind the plate. 2-1 now, the count to Kyler Smith. That one's going to be hit high towards center field. Not an easy play for Clough. He's not going to be able to get there. It's going to drop in between second base and center field. It's an RBI single for Kyler Smith. In to score is McKinney. It's double digits on the board now for the Aggies. 10-0 here in the top of the third inning. Walcott has already had a bunt single and scored this inning. He's back at the dish for the Aggies. Murray checks that runner over at first. Altman uses every inch of his frame to bring that one down. 10-0 the score. 7 runs across here in the third inning for Beal City. Kyler Smith has already scored once this inning. He now leads away from first base. He'll dance back after ball 2. That one's going to get away from the catcher. It'll be over for a strike. Pardon me, count is now 1-1. But moving up to second base with the steal is Kyler Smith. So now if you're Walcott here, run to the out, or a ball to the outfield here will score a run. He's going to foul this one off down the third baseline. Walcott wearing number 8, steps back in on the right side. Smith kind of dances all the way in between second and third as nobody is holding him on, just kind of daring a throw out there. 10-0 Aggies here in the top of the third. Smith again just dancing, waiting for that throw. It doesn't come. Strike 3 called. That'll be the 7th strikeout for Travis Murray, but that's the only good stat that inning for Coleman is 2 more strikeouts, as it is now 10-0 Beal City with a commanding lead as we head to the bottom of the third inning. If you're Coleman, you're now starting to think you're down to your final few outs here if you want to keep your season alive. Keep the broadcast right here. Thanks to more of our friends, Isabella Community Sportsplex, Morey Courts, the Martin Ice Arena, the Morey Gymnastics Center, Barry Funeral Home, Sean Powers and the crew at Mid-Michigan Industries, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Rick's Food Center, Almost Up North, Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms and Brad Gross Electric, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, the Fisher Companies, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt and Fisher Transportation, WW Construction, along with Kenneth Egger DDS. Those folks, along with all the others you hear me talking about, you see the commercials play, you see those logos at the bottom of the screen. They are the reasons why we are able to be here and bring you so many games, so many more games than you've ever been able to see in Mid-Michigan as far as high school sports are concerned. I believe this is game number 94 of the year. That is right, game number 94 that we have broadcast so far this year here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It is 7-8-9 due up in the bottom of the third for Coleman. Kendon Bach, Aiden Altman, and Campbell, brought to you by our friends at Woods Household Appliance, Weefridge Financial, and Clark Modular Homes. 10-0 Beal City with the lead. A little bit different ball game if you're Blake Walcott. Having a 3-0 lead in the second inning is great, but now having a 10-0 lead here in the third inning, you don't really have to do anything except zing it in there. And coming this Saturday, the pitching matchups that we could have. Again, Beal City and Sacred Heart are going to be heavily favored until they meet each other in the district championship. Then call that one a bit of a toss-up. But Brady Davis is unbelievable on the mound, the lefty for Sacred Heart Academy. Gator Seiler hasn't given up an earned run this entire year. Yes, this entire year for Sacred Heart Academy. And then you've got Walcott and Kyler Smith for Beal City. What a game that is going to be Saturday at 3 o'clock if both the teams are fortunate enough to get there. First one to Kendon Bach's going to bounce up there from Walcott 1-0. Walcott has struck out 3 through 2. And you look at Travis Murray, he has struck out 7 Aggies, but I think he'd, take those strikeouts away for runs being taken away, though. Altman retrieves the baseball to the umpire here, taking a moment here to get going. Digging back in is the left fielder, Kendon Bach. Walcott, nobody on base here, count 1-0. That one's also going to bounce up there, 2-0 now the count. And with this big lead, if you're Brad Ancliffe, you could think about bringing another pitcher in, but with this game being on Tuesday, next game not being until, well, actually a lot of teams are playing a game tomorrow. I believe Beal is, but kind of a non-consequential game. Just want to continue to see your batters face, live pitching as opposed to practice pitching. Walcott misses on the third pitch. It's now 3-0. Bach, chance for leadoff walk here. I imagine he's taken all the way. Actually, he's not as he fouls that one down the first baseline. 3-1 now the count to the left fielder. And Walcott, if you think about it, did spend a lot of time there that last inning. 7 runs across for Beal City. Maybe going out there a little cold, a little rusty. Swing and a miss. Now 3-2. Walcott quickly catches back up. And they've gone 6 up, 6 down because of a double play ball that ended the second inning for Coleman. That one's going to miss. It'll be ball 4 for Kendon Bach. So leadoff base runner on for the second consecutive inning here for Coleman. We'll see if they can take advantage of it, though. Altman at the plate, batting from the right side. Big 6'5", 6'6" frame that he's got. Great basketball player for the Comets. Be over for strike one for Walcott. McClintock is holding the runner Bach on at first base. But with a 10-run lead, I don't imagine you're all that worried about it if you're Walcott. Altman shows bunt and almost goes over the backstop. As Walcott turned up the juice a bit on that one. 0-2 the count. As Altman, the big righty, steps back in. First baseman for Coleman. Trying to get something going here in the third inning. Leadoff runner on. Nobody out, but he's down the count 0-2. This one's also going to be foul back. Campbell on deck. Then it's back to the top of the order for Coleman. Love to have a couple base runners on for the leadoff man, Parker Clough. Chances, if possible. Walcott winds and deals. Over, strike three called against Altman. That is strikeout number 4 for Mr. Walcott. Now here comes the number 9 hitter, Mr. Campbell. Walcott winds and deals. Kind of a slow swing there for Campbell as he misses on that one, counting 0-1. Still surprised we don't see Bach trying to take second base here. Tess Elias behind the plate. Bach does kind of dance away from first a little bit, but he's back quickly. That one misses. Nice job by Elias keeping it in front of him. Walcott checks the runner. Big swing and a miss from Campbell there. He's now down the count 1-2. If you're Walcott, the way you got him guessing here, throw a little breaking ball. Could really have Campbell having some trouble at the dish. Here comes the 1-2. It'll be on the corner for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Walcott. Make it 5 on the afternoon. We're back to the top of the order. And that leadoff walk doesn't look as damaging now as you've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Beal City leads it 10-0. Clough now at the plate with that runner at first. Ball 1. Walcott checks that runner. Sends in the 1-0. This one's going to be hit hard down the left field line. It's going to go foul. McKinney trying to track it and make a play. It won't get over the fence, but it will get too far out of play to be catchable. 1-1 now the count. Due Up, brought to you by our friends at Barberry Law, Gates Drug and Service, the Bird All-America Grill, and Bill's Custom Fab. It's Eric Elias, Gary Zucker, and Will McClintock. A due up for Beal City in the fourth inning. 10-0 our score here. Leadoff runner on for the second inning in a row. Swing and a miss there from Clough. Nice pitch there from Walcott. Yeah, last inning, Hess got on, leadoff single, then a strikeout to DeVries, then a double play going 6-4-3 to get Beal City out of the inning. Now leadoff runner gets on via walk. Now it's back-to-back strikeouts from Walcott. This one's going to be sent foul into the softball field. Nice job of the girls having their head on a swivel there. Almost got caught out in foul territory on the softball field, actually. Back into play. Elias has got it back to the umpire, and we're ready to go. Again, the umpire's got that best view in the house, brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. Walcott ready for the 1-2 to Clough. He's battled off a couple. That one's going to miss high. 2-2 now the count to the leadoff man for Coleman, who struck out his first time up. 5 of the 9 batters went down via strikeout for Walcott the first time through. Swing and a miss. Clough will go down on strikes. Striking out the side is Mr. Walcott. That strikeout number 6 through 3 innings. We're headed to the top of the fourth inning. It is 4-5-6 due up for the Aggies. If they put up 5 more runs, Coleman's going to have to score at least 1. And you also think about the pitch count. Travis Murray already at 87 pitches for Coleman. Headed back with a fourth inning right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, just like our student athletes, they bring it. If you need sand or gravel, they bring it to you with fast service and a great price. For all of your sand and gravel needs, call Central Michigan Sand and Gravel today at 989-382-7089. Central Michigan Sand and Gravel, a proud supporter of our student athletes competing for their schools. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning has been family-owned and serving mid-Michigan since 1962. They're dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and supports our local community. For all of your heating and air conditioning needs, call Mount Pleasant Heating and Air Conditioning at 989-772-2881.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. A beautiful Tuesday. The sunshine, the clouds kind of mixing together to make a great day for some baseball. District quarterfinal action. Beal City leads Coleman 10-0 as we lead off the fourth inning. The winner of this game play Montebello back here Saturday. The winner of that game will be in the district championship back here Saturday at 3 p.m. I will be here for that district championship call. We'll also be there for the district championship call Friday down in Montebello as Beal City and Sacred Academy share that district as well. Eric Elias leading things off here in the fourth inning for Beal City. He walked his first time up and was picked off trying to steal second base and struck out his last time up. Here comes the 1-0 from Murray. That's going to bounce in there. And for the Aggies, you can put up 5 more runs here in the fourth and end this game in 4 innings. If you're Coleman with that 5-inning, 10-run mercy rule, kind of already down to your final 6 outs, and you got to get something across. That one's going to miss as well. Pitch number 90 for Travis Murray right there. Whew. He has struck out 7, but it has been tough. That one's going to miss high. Ball 4. Elias on for the second time today via the walk. Remember, he was picked off trying to take second base on a great pickoff move from Murray on the mound. Gary Zucker now stepping to the plate. Think about our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefridge Financial. Kyler Smith, Gary Zucker, both kind of right in there. Zucker's got a triple and a single. He scored 2 runs in his 2 plate appearances. Now stepping back up for the third time here in inning number 4. Kyler Smith on the day is 3 for 3 with a pair of RBI, a double, a pair of runs scored, and a pair of stolen bases. 10-0 the score. Nobody out. Top of the fourth inning. Zucker steps back up. 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch, the at-bat's going to bounce up there. 1-0 the count. Wes Higgins in running for the catcher Eric Elias as he'll get that catching gear back on. That one's also going to miss. 2-0. So 6 consecutive that have missed from Murray on the bump. And again, he's thrown 93, and I do see Kyler Smith warming up for Beal City. So I don't think we're going to see Mr. Walcott back out in the bottom of the fourth here. Just want to keep them as few pitches as you can, but you love that they get to see the live action. Here comes the 3-0. I imagine Zucker's taking all the way. They look to pick off that runner. Higgins, it's going to get away from Altman. He's able to take second base. Thinks about moving up to third, but he'll stop at second. So I'll give him credit for a stolen base. That one probably more ruled an error, though. Now a runner in scoring position for Garrison Zucker. The count remains 3-0. There's been 7 consecutive that have missed the plate from Murray as he nears pitch 100 here. That one's going to be low, but in the zone, taken all the way with Zucker. The count is now 3-1. Higgins dances away from second base. That one's going to miss. Another walk. Back-to-back walks now surrendered. And Murray is at pitch number 97 here coming up. So he's only going to see a couple more batters anyway. And then Coleman's going to have to throw somebody else out there to try and deal with his very potent, very patient lineup of Beal City. And heading out on the mound right now is Nagy. And so this could be it right here. See if we see somebody new come in for Coleman. Again, you go back through the second inning. He had given up the 3 runs, but he had struck out 4. But then that third inning just kind of really opened things up for Beal City. Kyler Smith doubled to lead off the inning, then a bunt single from Walcott, single from Zucker, a walk from McClintock, a walk from Bouchon. They all came around to score. Bukovich was hit by a pitch. Then McKinney came up with the bases loaded and unloaded them with a 3 RBI triple. Nagy's back to the dugout. Murray back on the bump. And pitch number 97 coming up here. That one's also going to miss. 1-0 the count. The sun is gone again right now, but Murray out there in the gray has been out there in the sun quite a bit as well as laboring with this Beal City offense. That one is over for a strike to McClintock, 1-1. McClintock having a really nice day at the plate as well. He's technically 1 for 1, the single and a walk. He's got an RBI and a run scored. That one's going to bounce up there, 2-1 now the count. And Beal City got a guy warming up. I don't see anybody warming up for Coleman. This one's going to be fouled down the first baseline. 2-2 now the count to McClintock. Still nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Beal City leads at 10-0. Will McClintock, first baseman, at the plate for the Aggies. Playoff baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Audio-only coverage now that we're in the MHSA playoffs. That one's going to miss. It'll run the count full to 3-2. That's going to miss low. So 3 consecutive walks now surrendered by Travis Murray. Higgins is now at third, running for Elias Zucker at second. McClintock at first. Ryan Bouchon now stepping to the plate. And that looks like that will be it for Mr. Travis Murray. Again, he struck out 7. If he had had flawless defense behind him, maybe this game could have been a little bit different of a story, but I commend him on a very, very strong effort on the mound, going up against a really, really good Beal City team. I think fatigue catching up with him a little bit here, too, as he has those 3 consecutive walks. A new pitcher for the Coleman Comets. When we come back, it looks like DeVries is taking the mound. He'll warm things up. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan, want to toss the ball around?
No, thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies! Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The bases are fully loaded of Aggies. Ryan Bouchon is at the plate. Starting things off here with the at-bat and a strike is going to be Jared DeVries in a very, very tough situation to come in here. The bases loaded, trailing 10-0. This one's roped out towards left center field. It's going to get down for extra bases. 3 runs are going to come in for the Aggies. Bouchon, actually, nope, they're going to hold up McClintock at third. 2 runs are in for the Aggies. Elias is in. Zucker is in. McClintock is at third. And it's a 2 RBI double for the senior Ryan Bouchon, and it's now 12-0 Beal City with runners at second and third, and Cole Tillman stepping up to the plate. That one's going to miss inside to Tillman. Tillman, as I look through, I think is probably the only Aggie player who has not been on base yet. So he'd love to get something going here, but he's one of those team guys that when he looks up at that score, if he goes 0 for 9 as long as his team wins, he does not care. And it's looking good right now, 12-0. The Aggies ahead here in the fourth inning. That one's going to bounce up there. It'll get away from the catcher, but not far enough to allow McClintock to come in from third. 3-0 now the count to Cole Tillman. Braxton Bukovich on deck. The Aggies looking to close this one out in 4. They put 3 more on the board. Don't allow Coleman to get anything. That would do it. Comes the 3-0 to Tillman. That's going to bounce up there. And so now every Aggie in the batting order has been on base here today. Braxton Bukovich stepping to the plate with the bases loaded. The last time he was up, he was hit by a pitch to load the bases for Owen McKinney, who emptied him out with a 3 RBI triple moments after that. That one's going to miss inside, 1-0 the count. Think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game. Kyler Smith 3 for 3 on the day. Zucker 2 for 2 with a walk, 3 runs scored. It's going to be a tough decision in that Bird All-American Grill postgame show to think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. I don't think Bat Boy Ryan Batchelder is able to be here today with the early start probably. So I couldn't force the decision on him or anything like that. That one's also going to miss. 3-0 now the count to Bukovich. Bukovich, I imagine, taking all the way here. That's also going to miss low for ball 4. Coming in to score from third is Will McClintock. Moving up to third is Bouchon. Up to second is Tillman. Now at first is Bukovich. 13-0 the score. McKinney steps back in, batting from the left side. He had a 3 RBI triple his last time up. He would love to do that again. McKinney, technically 1 for 1 on the day, or 1 for 2 on the day. He's walked, had that triple, and he struck out. That one's going to be on the outside corner, 0-2. McKinney stepping back in. 13-0 the score. Still nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. McKinney's going to rope this one out towards center field. It's going to get down. 1 run is in. They're going to hold up that runner at third so the bases will stay loaded. It's an RBI single for McKinney. He's now got 4 RBI on the day. 2 runs scored. Again, as we think about that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, Caleb Leonard now coming up to hit for the Beal City Aggies. Smith getting ready to toss it out there. That'll bring up Leonard, who's a .438 hitter on the year. He's kind of done that in limited time as well, so very, very impressive for Leonard. But Smith, 3 for 3 on the day. He's ready to come out on the mound, so his day will be done at the plate. Bases are loaded. Still nobody out here in the fourth inning. Leonard steps up, hitting for Kyler Smith. He's going to send this one out towards center field, and not an easy play out there. It's going to get down for extra bases. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Bukovich showing the speed going around third. An RBI double for Caleb Leonard. And you take Kyler Smith out of that 2 spot, but they still continue to hit there. I should say 2 RBIs. It's now 16-0 Beal City. Parker Sienkiewicz now in hitting for Walcott. Sienkiewicz hitting from the left side. Runners at second and third. On the year, Sienkiewicz is a .381 hitter for the Aggies. Plays some first base. He's been on the mound a little bit too for Beal City. First pitch is going to be on the outside corner. Eric Elias would be on deck, who walked to start this inning, We do have another pinch hitter in the batter's box. There's still nobody out. 1-1 now, the count to Sienkiewicz. 16-0 is the score. It's Jake Upton on deck for Beal City. Sienkiewicz blasts this one over into the softball field, foul. 1-2 now the count. The senior first baseman played a big role playing center on that football team that won the state championship this fall for the Aggies. One of the senior leaders. Kind of reaches out and sends this one foul here. I think Sienkiewicz thought that one was close, so he took a swing. Count will remain 1-2. DeVries winds and deals. That one's going to miss outside. 2-2 now the count. We're in the top of the fourth inning. 16-0 is the score. That one's going to miss outside. I'll run the count full. The Aggies scored 3 in the first, 7 in the third. They've got another 6 across here in the fourth inning for a commanding 16-0 lead as they look to now get the 4-inning mercy, but they're still at the plate. Grounder up the middle. Not an easy play for Klopp on the high chopper. He's able to get it over in time for the out, but another run comes in to score for Beal City. Leonard is able to move up to third base. We're going to give sacrifice RBI there for Parker Sienkiewicz. Here comes Jake Upton to the plate now for Beal City. 17-0 is the score. Upton hasn't had a ton of opportunities on the plate, but he's been solid on the bump for the Aggies this year. He's thrown 18 innings, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, just a .78 ERA. Big swing and a miss that time, but it's going to get away from the catcher, but they're going to say it was a foul tip, which will have Leonard holding up at third base. 17-0 is the score. Beal City, 3 in the first, 7 in the third. Now 7 more here in the fourth to take a commanding 17-0 lead. Coleman's going to have to score at least 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning to try and get out of here, or to try and keep this game going. Count now 0-2 to Upton. DeVries winds and deals. That one's going to miss inside. Upton kind of ducking out of the way of that one. Bench is being cleared now by Brad Ancliffe, and why not with the big lead? This one's going to be sent foul down the third baseline. In the batter's box for the Aggies, to up next is going to be Jordan Weber. 17-0 the score. 1-2 the count. To Jake Upton at the plate. Runner at third base is Caleb Leonard. There's 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. The Aggies already have 7 runs across. So one's going to be fouled down to the third baseline. Would have been trouble if it was fair. Upton steps back out, steps back into the right side. 1 out, top of the fourth inning. 17-0 Beal City. This one's straightened out a little bit. Not an easy play. Third base, shortstop kind of fighting for it, but coming over to make the catch is going to be the shortstop. And it was DeVries out there. I'm now looking to see. I believe that was probably Murray and him switching in and out there. And so it'll be a pop out for Upton. Now 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Now stepping up to the plate for the Beal City Aggies, hitting for Gary Zucker, is going to be Jordan Weber. Weber wearing number 27, batting from the right side. Still a runner at third base to bring in here with 2 outs, top of the fourth inning. Already 7 runs across here in the fourth. Weber waves that bat over the back right shoulder. Nice curveball that time from DeVries. 1-1 the count. Weber steps out, steps back in. He's ready to roll. This one's going to be hit towards third base. It's going to get by the third baseman. It's going to be an RBI single for Jordan Weber. Coming in to score is Caleb Leonard. It is now 18-0, Beal City with the lead. Now Noel Tyson's going to step up to the plate for the Aggies with the big lead. He'll be hitting for Neil McClintock. It's 18-0, Beal City with the lead. Tyson hitting from the left side in the place of McClintock. That one's going to bounce up there. Chance for Weber to run, but he doesn't do so. And why with this, 18-zip lead? 1-0 the count now to Tyson. Bouchon is on deck. I think the bench has been completely emptied by Brad Antcliffe, and there's nobody left to bring off the bench, or else he would. That one's going to bounce away from the catcher. Trotting up to second base is going to be Jordan Weber after the RBI single. 2-0 now the count to Tyson. DeVries gets set once again, winds and deals. That's going to be over for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Noel Tyson. Again, Ryan Bouchon on deck. He's already had a 2 RBI double and scored this inning. It's 18-0 Beal City here in the fourth. Kyler Smith ready to come out and close this one out for Beal City. Big cut that time from Tyson, count now 2-2. DeVries winds and deals. That one's going to bounce up there. It's actually going to hit Tyson on the bounce. That apparently is a hit by pitch. That is the first time I've ever seen that one bounce up there and hit the batter, but apparently it's still a hit by pitch. I don't know if I'll ever see that one again, but taking his base is going to be Noel Tyson. And now runners at first and second as Bouchon steps back in. Again, he's already got 2 runs scored. He already had a 2 RBI double here in the fourth inning. First pitch is going to be over for a strike. The Aggies have now batted around in the third and the fourth inning. Big swing and a miss that time from Bouchon. Count now 0-2. Runners at first and second. Already a commanding lead for the Aggies, 18-0. This one's going to be hit out towards center field. I think that's going to get down, possibly for extra bases. 1 run is in. Sliding into, not sliding into third, standing up is Tyson. Coming around to score is Weber, and it's an RBI single for Bouchon. And so Bouchon 2 for 2 with 3 RBI just in this inning. That's pretty darn good for the senior DHing today for Beal City. Wes Higgins now stepping to the plate, hitting for Cole Tillman. Again, 19-0 is the score. There's 2 outs, runners at the corners for Beal City. The Aggies have put 9 up here in the top of the fourth inning. No matter who seems to step up to the plate, they continue to get it done. DeVries misses with that one. And as you hear me say often, the lessons kids learn playing high school sports go a long, long way in life. There's not many things that these Coleman Comet kids are going to deal with more frustrating than this. It's these seniors, the last sports game of your career here, and it's going this way. Not good. Big swing and a miss that time from Higgins. 2-1 now the count. And I've said the joke that I feel like getting fired is even a little bit easier. This one's going to be hit towards short. It's going to be eaten up a little bit, and so safe at first base with the single is Higgins. Everybody else is going to have to hold up. Bouchon at third, Tyson at third, Bouchon at second, Higgins now at first, and Braxton Bukovich, the freshman, is going to step up. The bases loaded here in the fourth inning. Bukovich has already walked and scored this inning. Tries to bunt it. It's going to go foul. 0-1 to count to the freshman right fielder. Get a big-time standout on that football team. Got injured in the Lake City game, so wasn't able to suit up the rest of the way. But you ask any of the seniors, Owen McKinney and the crew, about how important this freshman was to their championship football team, they will tell you that the man was a big, big deal. Now they're going to throw it out over to third base, and they will get the pickoff. Beal just kind of letting it happen there. That will get us out of the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's all Beal City. They have scored 16 runs now in the last 2 innings. Yeah, 9 and 7. Pardon me. Yeah, you know that old Spockman math, never the greatest. We're going to take a break. Kyler Smith is on the bump trying to close it out here for the Aggies, and Coleman needs at least 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th to keep things going. Back with more Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, Rowan, want to toss the ball around?
No thanks.
A quick game of chess?
Maybe later.
Want me to teach you to ride a bike?
Papa, we did all that when I was little.
I guess you're right. Marbury Law's kept me so busy, time has just flown by.
There is one thing, though. You got any cookies?
Thought you'd never ask.
Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291.
Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric, and go Aggies! Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Well, after 2 innings, it looked like we could have a battle here. Striking out the side was Travis Murray in the 2nd inning. Then a leadoff single. Then ever since then, there was a double play to get the Aggies out of that 2nd inning. And then in the 3rd, they put up 7. In the 4th, they put up 9. It is now 19-0 Beal City heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. If you are Coleman, it comes down to your 2, 3, 4 hitters. They're all going to have to get on here. But it's not going to be easy with Kyler Smith taking over with Blake Walcott. Or Kyler Smith taking over for Blake Walcott on the bump, pardon me. First pitch is over for a strike. Murray fouls that second one off. 0-2 now the count. Travis Murray grounded out to second base back in the 1st inning. And that's one crazy thing. The Aggies batted around a couple times the last 2 innings. If you're Murray at the plate, this is only your 2nd at-bat. I want to miss 1-2 now the count. If you ask me, Murray did a pretty darn good job. He struck out 7 Aggies at the plate. We did give up some hits, gave up some walks, and some not great defense behind him made things difficult. 2-2 now the count. Sophomore Kyler Smith winds and deals. This one's going to be hit hard, foul, down the 3rd baseline, out of play. If you had the pleasure seeing Caden Smith pitch the last several years for Beal City, you know, the first time I saw Kyler Smith pitch, I accidentally called him Caden because he's got a very similar motion, very similar throw. Maybe a little bit less on the velocity for the sophomore so far, but I think he's going to have some time in his career to catch up. I actually called him Caden Smith last week, and all I could think was, well, that's a pretty good compliment if I'm mistaking you for your older bro. Count is now full to Murray. He's going to foul this one off. Nice battle here by Travis Murray at the plate. He knows he has to get on base. This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up here. Smith winds and deals with the payoff pitch. It's going to be fouled. Nope, it's going to be popped way up in the air. Not an easy play. Coming in to make it. Now playing second base is Owen McKinney. If I would have thought there was somebody at second base to bring that one down, I did not expect it to be number 13. We got a lot of changes out there. Cooper Scarborough behind the plate. At third, Cole Tillman. At first remains McClintock, but you heard all the pinch hitters coming up for Beal City in that 4th inning. 19-0 our score. The Aggies 2 outs away from a 4-inning mercy here against Coleman. They'd move on to play Montebello here Saturday. They'd be big, big favorites in that game. And over on the other side of the bracket, Sacred Heart Academy be big, big favorites against Vestaburg. Beal City, Sacred Heart in the district final last year. It was a 3-0 win for Beal City. An excellent pitching duel between Caden Smith and Brady Davis. That one's just going to miss 1-1 now, the count to Lytle. That one's going to be fouled off. 1-2 now, the count. Haven't had many score updates coming in from around the way. We'll start to check things out here a little bit on Game Changer. Our Bird All-American Girl postgame show will get you updated on those games that are happening today that we're not able to cover. That one's just going to miss. Count now 2-2. That's going to be strike 3, punch out for Kyler Smith. An update over at Carlo Barberry Field. The Mount Pleasant Oiler baseball team trails Alpena 4-3. As I pull that game up, it's in the bottom of the 6th inning as well. So Mount Pleasant got to come back, try and keep their season going. That one's going to miss to Asher Hess, 1-0. This big catcher steps back in, batting from the right side, trying to keep the Coleman season alive. That one's going to miss 2-0. And so Alpena on top of Mount Pleasant for varsity baseball action. If Mount Pleasant won that game, they would be heading up to Traverse City. Shepherd Lady Jays, they don't have first pitch until 5:30 today versus the Alma Panthers, so getting ready, battle it out here in just a minute. Again, if we had the time and the capability to zoop down there to make it happen, we would. That one's going to be over for a strike. Strike 2 now to Hess. The count is run full. Kyler Smith would love to end this game here with a punch-out. It's 19-0 Beal City. That will be strike 3. Kyler Smith, Blake Walcott combined for 8 punch-outs through 4, and the Aggies win it in the district quarterfinal 19-0 to move on to the district semifinal Saturday. Again, we will be here to give you some updates on the phone, but we will not be calling the district semifinal games with Sacred Academy and Beal City. We expect them to move on to the district finals Saturday at 3 p.m. What a game that will be. Take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, we've got your Bird All-American Grill postgame show. It's going to be really tough to decide that Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. But we'll try and make it happen right after this. Back with more on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network and our Bird All-American Girl postgame show. The Aggies a winner, 19-0 in 4 innings, moving on to the district semifinal. Combining for 8 strikeouts, Kyler Smith and Blake Walcott were dominant on the hill. And then the bats were very, very dominant for Beal City. trying to think of the Zaid Batchelor baller of the game is very, very tough. Top two in the lineup. Owen McKinney on the day was 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, 4 RBI, a triple, a single, and a walk, but he did strike out. Kyler Smith behind him had an RBI single in the first, came around to score, had a double in the third and came around to score, and had an RBI single also in the third and came around to score. Then in the fourth, Caleb Leonard came in and hit for him. He had a 2 RBI double, and so that number 2 spot for Beal City essentially goes 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 4 RBI. And so a combination of Kyler Smith and Caleb Leonard going to be our Zaid Batchelor baller of the game, brought to you by our friends at Weefrich Financial. And a tip of the cap to Mr. Owen McKinney as well for that 3 RBI bases clearing triple. That didn't so much end the game, but it definitely took all the air out of the sails of the Coleman Comets. Bukovich came up with 2 outs, 2 runners on in the third. I think that point it was 7-0, 8-0. He got hit by a pitch, and then Owen McKinney came up, had an RBI triple. After him, Kyler Smith had a double. It was just trouble after that for Coleman. Beal City a winner, 19-0 in 4 innings over Coleman. They take on Montebello Saturday. On the other side of that district, it is Vesterberg and Sacred Heart Academy. We'll be back here at Earl Hartman Field for that district championship game Saturday at 3 o'clock here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And Friday, we will have softball action for you. Whether we call 1 games, whether we call 2 games, still figuring that out. But I believe it's a 4 o'clock start for what I expect to be Vesterberg and Beal City. Right after that, it would be Beal City and most likely Sacred Heart Academy if Beal City is able to get by Vesterberg. District championship week coming up. Friday, we will have softball action. Saturday, we will have a baseball action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network for you. And again, updates coming from all the other places as well. Check in here again on Mount Pleasant Oiler baseball. The Lady Jays still getting ready to have first pitch. And Oiler baseball has now tied things up at 4 apiece in the bottom of the 6th inning with Phillips at second base and R.A. Punjabi at the plate. And so the Oilers trying to come back from behind late to beat Alpena, and it's a single. So you now got a couple runners on for the Aggies. They have tied it up. Actually, they changed it here. No, yep, it's 4-4 as I'm looking directly at the game changer kind of box score thing. Punjabi at the plate, Phillips at second. Oh, no, pardon me. Phillips got thrown out trying to take second base. So we're tied at 4 going into the 7th inning. That's between Mount Pleasant and Alpena. Here at this game, it was all Beal City. And the Lady Jays of Shepherd was another game we were going to try and check in on. They are not playing until 5:30. Check in on Vesterberg. Vesterberg is ahead of Montebello 6-0. And so if they hang on to win, they will take on Beal City Friday. I believe it is 4 o'clock against the Lady Aggies of Beal City for softball action. It's all coming up, and it's all going to be right here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Beal City Sacred Heart Academy softball coverage on Friday. Beal City Sacred Heart Academy baseball coverage on Saturday. We'll have updates from all the other games as well. Later tonight, I'll give everybody an update on what happened with Vesterberg if they hold on to win, what's going to happen with Mount Pleasant as they are tied at 4 apiece heading to inning number 7. Chris Bachman signing off here. The Aggies victorious 19-0 in 4 innings to move on to the district semifinals Saturday. We'll be here with updates and getting ready for that district final on Saturday. Chris Bachman.